So, we are back with more soap. This is going to be season 1, episode 6. I've got mixed feelings about the series. Like, I'm enjoying it, but it's also a little bit annoying to me. And I think it's just the way that they've got it set up because, okay, like, Hitchcock's idea of suspense was to tell the audience that there's a bomb on a train, and then you watch and see what's going to happen. And the suspense and the anxiety is that the audience knows the bomb is there. And the suspense is whether or not anybody is going to figure it out and stop it. And it feels like that's what they were trying to do with this by setting up everything in the very first episode and telling you everybody's secrets. But it's not working as suspense because we do know everything. And it's just seemingly frustrating to see everybody else not know what's going on when it should be obvious what's going on. Like with Jessica and Corinne, is that it? Sleeping with Peter. Like, I don't understand why either of them are still with him when they both know that he's not really a tennis instructor, and they're both now aware that he's a part of their family. Why are they still continuing the relationship, and why is it still secret? It doesn't make sense. And maybe that's just, I don't know, maybe that's just because I've seen too much TV and these kind of plot holes have been done better in more recent years. But it's not that they're bad. I'm just hoping that some of these things will be tied up and we can start something new, and maybe that will be a little better for me, because the storylines we have now, it's not really doing it for me. I don't know if I'm going to continue watching through season 2. There's only, I think I said 4 seasons, and I think they are all on YouTube. But I don't know if I'm going to continue watching past the first season. I might watch the second season on my own and then do a mini review of it, just me talking about it. But if it continues the way it is, I might give up on it pretty quickly, unfortunately. And I hate to say that because some of the characters and some of the stories I really do like. I really like Jody. I kind of want to see what's going to happen with Billy. You know, he's figuring things out. He's upset he's lost his medal, but obviously a girl's gonna want gold over a tooth. Poor kid. And I like Benson. I'm still not over Benson tripping that dude in the second episode. Physical comedy obviously is always going to get me, but a lot of these storylines, like, I want Chester and Bert to both die. These women just need new husbands. Maybe they won't need to cheat if they have new husbands that aren't complete pieces of shit. And Danny is just, I don't know. He can't be that incompetent. I mean, I guess he can, but it doesn't seem, it's supposed to be funny. I'm aware that they're taking these soap opera tropes and storylines that were taken seriously in the syndicated series soap operas and all, and they're trying to make them comedic. I just don't think they've got it yet. But we are only 6 episodes in, and it might still, there's still chance for it to change. So we're going to give episode 6 a chance.
This is the story of 2 sisters, Jessica Tate and Mary Campbell. Jessica lives in a neighborhood known as Rich. Jessica likes life. The only thing about life she would change, if she could, is that she would set it all to music. The Tates have more secrets than they do money. We're approaching Mary Campbell's house. Mary too likes life. Unfortunately, life doesn't seem to be too crazy about her. As you can see, the Campbells don't have nearly as much money as the Tates. They do, however, have as many secrets. In last week's episode of Soap, Danny once again tried to kill Bert, but couldn't. Corinne tried to talk Father Timothy Flotsky into leaving the church and going with her, but couldn't. Unable to have the only man she ever wanted, Corinne decided to go ahead and move in with Peter. Meanwhile, Jessica was telling Peter she could never see him again.
Hold on, it's really dark. I gotta turn my light up. I got it turned down because I'm trying to save my battery, but I can't see shit.
Corinne walked in and found her mother kissing Peter. Little did she know her mother was kissing him off. Corinne, unable to have Father Tim, the man she wants, can't live with him. And finding the man she has with her mother, can't live at home. And since she has to live somewhere, she decides to move in with Peter anyway. Confused? You won't be after this week's episode of...
No, I'm just kind of annoyed with that. She shouldn't be moving in with Peter. She knows he's a dog.
All right, Billy, enough is enough. 2 days locked up in your room because Molly broke up with you is plenty.
But I can't go back. I can't face the kids.
What do you plan to do with your life?
I don't know. Join the circus and become a clown.
No, because of some little girl?
She's not some little girl. We're going steady. And she left me for a junior.
Well, why don't you fight for her? Win her back.
Dad, come on. I can't compete. He's 6'1" and drives a convertible. I'm a midget with a Schwinn.
Well, what is she, the only girl in the world? Billy, do you know how many girls there are out there? They're all over the place. Thousands. Millions of them. Beautiful.
I only care about whether or not she gave back the medal, because that was important to him.
Wonderful. Glorious. Beloved. Lots of girls.
Yeah, but I want Mom.
That's only because you can't have Mom. Billy, let me tell you a story. During the war, this guy, Herbie, and I became friends. Well, Herbie fell in love with a wonderful Italian girl, Carla. Thinking of Carla was what got him through the war. Well, Carla died, and Herbie nearly fell apart. He stayed in, drank. I've never seen anyone so miserable. And then one day, Herbie came to me and he said, Chet, life must go on. And Herbie went on. A few years later, he fell in love with another woman, married her, and they went to Jamaica on their honeymoon, and she ran off with a steel band. But Herbie went on. He married again, and this time at the wedding reception, his bride left him for the catering. But still, Herbie went on.
Herbie needs to stop.
His next wife ran off with his partner who ran off with his business. But still, Herbie went on. Because you see, Billy,
Herbie was
knew
stupid.
that there's a whole world out there. He knew that somewhere around some corner he would find happiness.
Wow. I feel like a jerk. I mean, look at Herbie, a lifetime of disasters. I had a week with a 13-year-old shrimp who lisps. Now I'm going to throw my life away? Thanks, Dad.
Good boy. I'll see you at breakfast.
Hey, Dad. Where's Herbie now?
Oh, he's
Dead.
in a mental institution.
Dead would be better.
What?
Yes, he just sits in the corner, talks in numbers, and makes lovely baskets.
I thought he always goes on.
Oh, Billy, please, there's just so much going on that a man can do.
I don't think Herbie's story is the inspiration that Dad thinks it is.
Are you going to tell Mrs. Tate that Corinne is moving in with Peter? Because if you are, that's 2 places I won't have to set no more.
No, Benson, only one place. Corinne's.
2. Because when Mr. Tate finds out, it's going to kill him.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Chester.
Benson! I asked for a 3-minute egg.
That is a 3-minute egg.
This egg is raw.
Well, what you expect when you ask for an egg in 3 minutes? I got to get it out of the refrigerator, get it onto a plate, get it all the way in here. You want it cooked. You got to give me 10 minutes.
I have an announcement to make. Corinne is not here.
I think that we can see that, Jessica.
Well, yes, of course you can, Chester, because her seat is empty.
Where is she?
Corinne is moving.
Moving? Where?
Where? Where is she moving? Oh, Chester, that is a good question. Corinne is moving into an apartment that she's going to share with someone.
Oh, well, not surprised.
Not yet.
I'm sure she's at an age when she wants to be on her own, and she's going to have a roommate.
Yes, dear.
Good. I really don't want her living alone. Do we know the girl's family?
Yes, we do. We know the family really quite well. As a matter of fact, we're all almost related.
Good. Who is it?
Billy, run upstairs and get Mother something. Why can't anybody ever talk in front of me? I mean, I walk into a room and conversation stops. I went around for years thinking a surprise party was being planned for me. Well, I'm not leaving, Mom. I'm not missing this.
Jessica, who is the girl?
What girl, Chester?
The girl Corinne will be living with.
The girl? Oh, the girl. Oh, look, here's Corinne. I told Daddy that you were moving, dear.
Who is she moving in with?
And Daddy thinks that's nice. Isn't that nice, dear? Things are so much nicer when people think they're nice. Don't you think so, Laura?
You didn't tell him who I was moving in with?
No.
Isn't she an adult? I'm curious. Because if she's an adult, what right does her father have to be upset whether she's living with a man or a woman? I know it's the 70s and like living with a man out of wedlock and all, but she's an adult. And he's been cheating on his wife for like 18 years. He's not exactly one to be judging and setting that kind of boundary.
Moving in with Peter.
Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't keep her.
Put her in a pumpkin shell and there he kept her very well.
Oh, I love that one, don't you, Daddy?
Corinne, what are you saying?
Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so.
Everyone is saying you
All right, stop.
stop in the name of love and
Break my heart,
break my heart.
make it all over.
All right, Corinne, one more time.
I said I'm moving in with Peter.
Peter. Who's Peter?
Peter Campbell, the tennis pro.
That's it? That's the big thing? I thought it'd be something good.
I'm sorry, Daddy.
It's about the reaction I've got.
Goodbye. Goodbye, Major. Goodbye, Benson.
Corinne, if you need anything, you call me, okay? But don't bring your laundry around here, because I ain't gonna do it.
That's it? You're just going to sit there while our daughter throws her life away?
Chester, I don't know what else to do.
Get her back.
How?
Well, you'd better think of something, Jessica, because my blood pressure's already redlined it. All I have to do is stand up, and I will have a cerebral hemorrhage on the spot.
Simon says, stand up.
What's going on, Corinne?
Nothing.
Nothing. You're upstairs packing, Mother's downstairs crying, and nothing's going on?
I don't want to talk about it.
You know, it's funny, Corinne. All these years, I couldn't wait for one of us to move out of the house, and now you are. I'm kind of sad.
It's better this way.
Tell me, Corinne.
Can't.
Were you in love?
Really, Eunice, I can't talk about it. You wouldn't understand.
I would understand. I'm in love.
You're in love? But you never go out. Who are you in love with? United Parcel?
Corinne, you're just going to have to take my word for it. I can't tell you who it is. It's very complicated.
Complicated, please. You don't know from complicated.
Now, believe me, Corinne, if you knew who was involved in my situation, you'd faint.
If you knew who was involved in mine, you'd drop dead.
All right, Corinne, all right. I happen to be in love with a public figure.
Peanuts.
A married public figure.
Zip.
All right, Corinne.
Oh, wait, is she the one that's
I'm
with the
in
congressman?
love with Congressman Walter McCallum.
Okay. She and Jody had the conversation in the restaurant. I thought it was Corinne that was talking to Jody in the restaurant. These two look so alike that I thought they were the same person in the last episode. But I remember her name easier. It's Eunice.
I could. But I can't tell you.
Well, I knew you couldn't. Mine's bigger.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
A married congressman?
right.
How do you like this one? I'm moving in with Peter Campbell, who's also having an affair with Mother.
Okay, so she is aware that he's fucking her mother.
Corinne, you're not allowed to lie. It's the truth.
Mother? Our mother. The mother downstairs? Jessica? The redhead?
That's the one.
How do you think you were made, dear?
You win. I can't believe it. I mean, it took me 20 years to believe she did it with Daddy. Oh, isn't this nice? Oh, I just...
Right, so if Eunice is at least 20, Corinne's got to be an adult.
love this. All the Tate women are gathered here together. Well, you two probably have a lot to talk about.
Yes. No.
You two probably have a lot not to talk about, in which case I'll still leave. Corinne? You know, Corinne, in life, people make mistakes. Little mistakes and big mistakes. And I made a big mistake. Actually, I made a huge mistake, and I am sorry. You have no idea how terribly sorry I am. But you see, I thought if I told you what a mistake I had made and how sorry I was, that it would make everything all right. But now that I'm hearing it, I realize that it's just not enough. Well, I guess it probably won't be enough for a long time to come. I still want to say it. I am sorry. I'm a mother, and I know you think I should have known better. But Corinne, knowing better doesn't always work out. So
True.
I'm sorry. I guess I'm sorry about a lot of things in my life. But most of all, I'm sorry for what's happened between us. I'm going to miss you. Goodbye, Corinne.
Okay, so, and I understand that it would be difficult to find out that your mother was cheating on your father. But also, isn't Corinne sleeping with like 5 other dudes? One of them, the church guy. I don't know. Maybe it's different for her because she's not married to any of them and she doesn't have kids and she feels like it's like an attack against her that her mother is not who she thought she was and is sleeping with other men. But it seems extremely judgmental from what we've seen Corinne coming from. But that's also the way this family seems to operate, is to sin and judge.
I've ruined my marriage. I've ruined my life. Corinne's left home, and it's all because I took tennis lessons.
Okay, Jess. Let's just take one thing at a time. What happened from the beginning?
Tennis lessons.
Well, it all started 2 months ago when Chester gave me a tennis racket. Now, I don't know why he gave me a tennis racket. I never said I wanted one. I may have mentioned I wanted a Cuisinart, but I never once mentioned that I wanted a tennis racket. But, oh, Mary, have you got a Cuisinart? They are wonderful. You can just throw your knives away. You'll never have to chop food again.
What happened,
Oh,
Jess?
well, when I first got mine, all the food turned to mush. But when
Jessica, what happened?
Oh, well, Chester gave me this tennis racket, and I didn't want to appear ungrateful, Mary, so I had to take tennis lessons. And because I took tennis lessons, I met Peter, and because I met Peter, I slept with him. Because I slept with him, now Chester's probably going to find out, and when Chester finds out, my entire life is going to be ruined, and it's all because Chester gave me a tennis racket. This is actually Chester's fault.
The Simpsons did this storyline better. In season 1, Homer buys a bowling ball for Marge for her birthday because he really wants the bowling ball for himself. But she decides to defy him and learn how to bowl and has a bit of an affair with the bowling instructor. Somehow, that one 30-minute episode did this same storyline better than these 6 episodes of this series has. Because with The Simpsons, I felt the gravity of Marge cheating on Homer with the bowling instructor. With the Tates, I feel no gravity with Jessica cheating on her husband because her husband is also cheating and we're aware of this. So I think it would have been different if they had not set up who everybody was so cleanly in the very first episode and allowed us to try to put in our heads who we thought they were and then be shocked by the subversion of that a couple of episodes later. Why is there an alarm going off? Last night there was a big boom and their lights flashed. I thought a meth lab had exploded or something. I still have no idea what happened.
Mary, have I got news? I just got this cable at work. My son Chuck is coming here from Hawaii.
Bert, this is signed Chuck and Bob. Who's Bob?
It's nobody.
Well, he's obviously somebody, Bert, because he's coming and he doesn't eat meat.
Who doesn't eat meat?
Bob.
Who's Bob?
I don't know. Somebody
husband?
who's coming with Chuck.
Who's Chuck?
Bert's son. Who's Bob?
I don't even know who Chuck is. Who's Bob?
It's a dummy.
Bert, I didn't ask you for his
Dummy?
IQ. I asked you who he was.
A dummy.
Well, your son Peter's no genius either.
Where's Peter?
He's a dummy.
But he's sweet, Bert.
No, Bob. Bob's a dummy. You know, a little wooden doll.
A wooden doll.
Let me get this straight. Your son Chuck is coming here from Hawaii with Bob, his little wooden doll.
Right.
And you thought I had problems?
Come on. I got him, Bob, when he was a little kid.
Bob.
Bob. Well, yeah, see, we don't refer to him as a dummy because it kind of upsets Chuck.
Not to mention driving Bob completely crazy.
No, now, he's had Bob all his life. He took him everywhere. Took him to school, to camp, into the army.
He took a doll into the army?
At least he could get into the army. Special Services Vietnam. They entertain the troops.
I'm sure they did.
Hey, he won a medal.
Ooh, Chuck or Bob?
Chuck.
Mary, I have to go now. I have to go and see what new disasters befallen me. Well, goodbye, Bert. I am so happy that 2 more of your sons are coming.
One son, the other's a dummy.
Well, smart or dumb, they're your children. You love them.
That's right.
Tim, I had to come, Tim. I had to see you one last time. I moved in with that man I told you about. But I
He
had
is
to
with
see
the
you
Lord
once
right
more
now.
and tell you how I feel. I love you, Tim. I know it's crazy to want you. I mean, people would say, why him? Why Tim? He's not that terrific looking. I mean, you're cute, Tim, but face it, you're no Al Pacino. And who knows what your body is like under that outfit. Look at you, you go around wearing a little black dress. And I still want you. Tim, please, I'll leave him. Come with.
Sorry, does Corinne care about anything except what Corinne wants? This man is trying so fucking hard to maintain his religion. And she is just unrelenting. Like, at what point is she going to understand that what he wants is more important than what she wants? Because it's his life. And he is clearly very devoted to the church. Now, I'm not religious anymore. But if you're not hurting anybody, I don't think it's a problem to be religious. I do think it's a problem if you're actively trying to step and to hinder somebody else's religion just because it's not something that you personally ascribe to. Everybody has the right to believe what they want. She seems to think that if a man is not falling over her, she's done something wrong. She's failed. She's got like 5 men on the hook right now, and she's only caring right now about the one who is trying desperately to get away from her because his religion is telling him that she's a sinner, which she is. She's with so many different dudes, and she's not caring about any of their feelings. I don't like Corinne. I don't like most of these characters.
I know you want to. If you left, God would understand. He's seen a lot. He's millions of years old. What do you think there is that he hasn't seen? No, huh?
Bitch like you in a while.
Tim, could you stop praying for just a minute? It's making me kind of crazy. Okay, fine. Doesn't matter. You won't drown me out. You're going to hear this before I leave forever. I will stay with this man, Tim, but I will always think of you. When he takes me in his arms, I'll pretend it's you. And when he whispers my name, I'll pretend it's you.
This manipulation.
And when I'm with him, I'll pretend it's you. So that's it, Tim. All the praying in the world will not stop me from loving you.
Per singulos Dios benedicimus te alamus nomen tuum in seculum et in seculum seculi dignare Domini Deisto sine peccato nos custodiri miserare nostri Domini miserare nostri fiam misericordia tua Domini super nos quem momentum speravimus in te Domini speravi non confundare in eternum te Deum laudamus te Dominum confitemur te
Tim, take it easy. God is not deaf.
It worked. His prayer banished her.
Now, Father?
Over here, Daddy. Over here.
Now, Father?
Here I am, Danny. Danny, I'm in the middle of a catastrophe. This is my only healthy tomato plant. Look, here it was.
It should be upside down.
You know what this is, eh? Tomato bugs. These bugs live for only one thing in life, destroying tomato plants. Nice work, eh? What I want to know is this. In the middle of the largest city in the world where there is no agriculture to speak of, on the roof of a 20-story building, how do you know there's tomatoes here?
I don't know. Hey, maybe there was a couple of bugs on a farm somewhere in the Midwest, and one bug said to the other bug, hey, let's go see what's doing in Manhattan, huh?
These tomatoes are dying. These tomato plants are dying, and I can't save them. Well, Daddy, I've been reading the obituaries the last few days, and I look, and I look, and I look, and never do I see the name of Bert Campbell, and I ask myself, hey, where do I see this name?
Well, it's because he's not dead yet.
Well, that certainly clears up the mystery, eh? I was thinking that probably was it.
Yeah, that was it.
So what are you waiting for, Daddy? You should die of old age.
Father, I just don't know how to do it.
Well, you don't have to be an engineer, Danny. You take the gun, you point it, you pull the trigger. Would be nice if he was in the room. So, Danny, you be a nicer boy, huh? You go home and kill Bert.
Father, I just can't do it.
Oof,
Look, I know you said in order for me to leave, I had to do you a favor.
Yeah.
Okay. Couldn't you give me something else to do?
Ma, what did you have in mind, Danny? Huh? You want to clean out my garage? You want to simonize the limousine? Hey, a deal is a deal, Danny, no? Besides, it's out of my hands now. I'm sorry. Mr. Lefkowitz wants it done.
Couldn't I talk to Mr. Lefkowitz?
Oh, please, Danny. Lefkowitz talks to nobody. Mr. Lefkowitz doesn't even talk to Mrs. Lefkowitz. First of all, you can't pry him away from his cockamamie stamp collection.
Godfather, I can't do it. I just can't do
All
it.
right, Daddy. You listen to me now, eh? Move in. This is your last chance. You take this key. This is the key to a remote cabin in the woods, where in the next 2 days, you will kill Bert. You invite him to go fishing with you.
Fishing?
Well, if you tell him the real reason, I don't think he's going to want to go, eh? In the cabin, there's a fireplace. In the chimney of the fireplace, there's a gun. The body, you just leave it there, and we take care of it. Danny, wait. You're such a handsome boy. Nice looking, you know. I don't want to see your body in Brooklyn, your face in the Bronx. That would upset me.
Oh, Father, I just can't do it.
You just destroyed my only healthy tomato plant. And you seriously injured my doorman. I think you can kill a bird.
Poor doorman.
Will Corinne find happiness with Peter? Will Jessica find happiness without Peter? Will Corinne find happiness without Father Tim? Will Father Tim find happiness? Or will Corinne drive him crazy? Will Danny invite Bert to the woods to kill him? Will Bert's other son, Chuck, and his little wooden doll, Bob, arrive from Hawaii? And if they do, will Bert live to see them? These questions and many others will be answered on next week's episode of...
Okay, so predictions for the next episode. Hopefully I'm going to like the new characters and we're going to get some new story arcs. I might understand somebody with a bob since I have a friend. I'm really hoping Bert gets killed. Just end that already. Fucking end it with Bert. End it with Chester. Get these women some new husbands that don't suck. Although I know that would cause a whole lot of problems for the kids in the family because Corinne and Eunice are already going to be struggling now with finding out that their mother is cheating on their father. Which, for some reason, it kind of did fly over my head that this was a woman cheating on her husband and the father of her children. When he's also cheating, it minimizes it so much that until the conversation with Jessica and Corinne, I was like, oh yeah, it's her father that she's cheating on. That's probably a big deal. I don't know. They set these characters up too well. There's too much backstory immediately, and I'm confusing them. I thought Corinne and Eunice were the same person for an entire episode. I don't know what's up with this show. I don't know how long I'm going to keep going with it, but I am going to continue with it. We're going to get into episode 7 next.